Hi you guys, this is Mrs. Pruitt Britton again, and I wanted to do another quick lesson on how to memorize the unit circle coordinates. And this time we're going to use the left hand trick. You can use this if you like. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. Alright, so you can look at the palm of your left hand. And I want you to think about is the first quadrant of our unit circle. I'm going to draw on this hand right here. Let's say that's my first quadrant, right? Then this would be at 0 degrees. This next angle then would be 30 degrees. The next one would be 45 degrees. 60 degrees, and then of course the 90 degrees, right? So when I'm talking about this trick and what you can do using your fingers, that's what I'm going to be referring to, and that's where I'm getting it from. It's from the first quadrant of the unit circle. So let's take all these away. Alright, now I've got my hand back. I'm just going to write on my fingers, and no, you cannot do this during class. I'm going to write 0 degrees, 30 degrees, this thing always gets stuck, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. You can always put radians to 0, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, and pi over 2. So what will help you to memorize the coordinates of the left and the right hand side, when I'm talking about the coordinates, I'm talking about that, your ordered pair. Whatever number that we get by putting down whatever finger of the degree that we're looking at, we're going to take our number of fingers and we're going to put that underneath the square root and divide it by 2, and that will give me my answer. So let's do an example really quick. So let's say I want to find the first coordinate for 30 degrees. So I would put this finger down. Put that finger down. And what does that give you on the left hand side? Well, I have 3 fingers there. 3 fingers is what will go underneath here. So this answer is the square root of 3 over 2. And the right hand side is going to be how many fingers I have over there, which is 1. So then I'm going to put the square root of 1 divided by 2. And of course the square root of 1 is 1. So that really is just 1/2. Boom. That's the answer for 30 degrees. Alright, so let's say that we wanted to do this for the 45 degree angle. So I would actually put this finger down and then look at the numbers that I have on the left and the right. So on the left here, I have 2 fingers. So in the left here, my coordinate, my ordered pair, it's going to be square root of 2 over 2. Over here, I have 2 fingers. Again, it's going to be 2 underneath the radical here. So my answer is going to be the square root of 2 over 2. Let's do 60 degrees. I will put this finger down. And then I would look to see how many fingers do I have on the left. I have 1. So this is going to be the square root of 1, which is 1 over 2. And on this side, I have 3 fingers. So it would be 3 that will go underneath my square root. And that's what's going to be the answer. It even works for 0 and 90 degrees. So in this case, I want to know what are the x and y coordinates for 0 degrees. Well, I put that pinky finger down and I have 4 fingers on the left. So I'm going to put a 4 under there, where the square root of 4 is 2, right? So this is 2 divided by 2, which is just 1. So 1 goes over here. Notice there are no fingers on this side of my pinky. Hopefully, for most of us. So its right hand side is going to be 0, or my y coordinate value will be 0. Last but not least, the 90 degree. I'll put my thumb down and then I'll check out what I have. Well, on the left, there's nothing there. Square root of 0 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So this is going to be 0. And since I have 4 fingers left on my right-hand side of my thumb that I put down, my 4 will go under here, just like we just did. The square root of 4 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I know that its ordered pair will be 1. Alright, you guys, so now that I know how to use my hand trick, I can really just fill in the rest of my unit circle. All I really need to remember is that on this side, it's going to be positive, positive. On this side, it's going to be negative, positive. In this quadrant, it's going to be negative, negative. And in this quadrant, it's going to be positive, negative. So one last example. Again, let's say I'm working with a 30-degree angle. I'll put that finger down. And then I notice that I have 3 on the left. So here, this would be the square root of 3. And on the right, I have 1 finger. So it's 1/2. So it's the same answer over here, except it's going to be negative, positive. So it's negative square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. Negative square root of 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. And over here, it's going to be positive root 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. Hope you guys can see that. And I hope that this helps some of you guys who are still having problems memorizing the unit circle.